We're
Hello.
live. Hi, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. Coach Jill and Coach Jaclyn here. We are part of the Financial Coach Academy team. If you don't recognize us, you probably should if you've been around for a little while. We hop in here every so often. But we wanted to hop on this morning because we have been getting questions about the mastermind. The enrollment is open right now. We open up enrollment one time a year, just once a year. It is happening this week. So this is your one and only opportunity. If you want to join us in the Financial Coaches Mastermind, now is the time to check that out. And so we wanted to hop on this morning and just share a little bit more about the mastermind, who it's good for, what you can expect, what we love about it, all of that good stuff, just to help answer any of the questions that you may be having if you are considering this for yourself. So
Absolutely. If you're joining us live, please say hi in the comments. We would love to say hi to you. I'm going to refresh and keep watching the comments while we chat. So please say hello. We want to hear from you as we talk about the mastermind. One of our favorite places to be on the internet is in the mastermind.
yes, that is very, very true. So Jaclyn, what are some of the things, like someone who is considering the mastermind, who is it good for? Who's it a good fit? And like, what might they be looking for?
Great. So, there's a lot of good things about who can be in the mastermind, a lot of qualifications. The number one thing is that you're a financial coach, right? That you are somebody who coaches someone around their money, or you want to do that. That is the number one thing. It's the group for financial coaches. So we have a lot of coaches in there who also have other lines of revenue, other streams of revenue. They might have a podcast, or they might have a course, or they might be launching financial products too, but they also are working to help people with their money. And so that is who the mastermind is for. You don't need to have years and years of experience, though. You don't need to be a veteran coach at this point. You don't need to be a full-time coach or whatever you consider that to be, but you do want to grow towards something else. I would say you don't want to just stay where you're at. You want to continue to grow. You want to scale. You want to look for new ways to serve your clients. That is who is a really great fit for the mastermind. Yeah. I would say if you are, go ahead, Jill.
Well, I was going to say, I'm like, one of the questions I think that we see pretty often is we'll have people that message us and they'll say, hey, I just started the academy. Like, is the mastermind a good fit for me right now? Is it not a good fit for me? I'm sort of just getting started, or I'm working my way through, but I'm not totally finished. And I think the answer is sort of like, it depends, right?
I literally was going to say, it depends on you and your situation. Go ahead. What were you going to add to that?
Yeah. I mean, my thought is if you are brand new, very, very early into the academy, that you don't have any systems set up yet, that you don't have any idea who you're working with yet, it might be better just to work through the academy, get some of that foundational piece of your business established. And then next year, plan on joining the mastermind to sort of get the ball rolling even a little bit faster. But if you have some of the systems already in place, if you've been working through it, you've maybe had some beta clients already, and you feel as though it's not going to be a distraction, right? To have like the extra challenges or accountability or extra work to do from the mastermind, that it actually is going to help you to not delay or not be overthinking things or not feel so stuck about things like that. If you're in that place trying to get through the academy and just feeling like, oh, I'm like sort of not taking action, or I feel stuck, or I'm not making the progress I want, at that point, the mastermind could be perfect for you. What do you think, Jaclyn? Anything else to add to that?
You nailed it, Jill. Okay. I think like if you are at a place where it's like, I don't know how to do something, FCA is going to be the first place that you want to turn. If it's like, I don't know how to even start my coaching business, I don't even know how to do a very first initial session with a client, FCA is where you want to start for that piece of it. Or like maybe investing in certain toolkits that are out there too could be a great place to start. But if you are feeling stuck, or you are not taking action, like Jill said, if you know it's not just more content you need, but you need to get laser focused in on the specific activities to be doing, that is where the mastermind is really going to fill the gap for you, in addition to all the other amazing benefits that it offers. So the mastermind is not focused so much on content. It is focused on helping you get into action, but getting into the right action for you. So that's where I would say it's a good gap to fill.
Yeah. I mean, that is one of the things that we hear over and over from the coaches that are in the mastermind, is they say the thing they love the most is it really helps them to not be stuck anymore. Like if they have a question, if they're held up on something, if they've been like going back and forth, considering different options and just aren't quite sure what the best one is for them, they can tap into the mastermind. They can ask their questions there or ask the community to sort of help give feedback. And they find that they can like really keep things going much more quickly and like not feel so stalled out for so long.
Right. Yeah. I mean, having that real-time support where you can ask questions, where you can show up for a live call where we actually take questions and help you work through them and coach you around them. Or in between those calls, you can post your question in the group and have an answer from one of the members of the FCA team, but then also from a lot of the coaches who are part of the mastermind. That is completely priceless, I think. I mean, literally, like just last week, I posted a screenshot of one of our mastermind coaches saying, "Thank you so much for this response. That was exactly the thought I needed. I was stuck and now I'm not." And so imagine like every time you get stuck, you ask a question and later that day you have the answer to your question. You have a way to think through it, to process it and get back toward taking action instead of being in that like analysis paralysis mode that a lot of us, me included, can get into very easily.
Yeah. I would say too, I mean, we've got a huge community here in Financial Coaches Unite. And I think that some people might be like, but I can just post my question here in Financial Coaches Unite and people are going to comment on it and give me their thoughts or their feedback. And I would say it definitely, there is an amazing community here just in our Facebook group. We love the, like, just the camaraderie and the support and just everything that happens in this group is amazing. But I will also say that it is a different environment inside of the mastermind where everyone there is very committed to their business. They are committed to taking action, to their growth. Most of the people in the mastermind are farther along, I would say, in their business than the general community here in Financial Coaches Unite. And so, you know, it's like you want to be surrounding yourself by those that you can learn from and that you can rise up to and that are giving you feedback from their direct experiences. And the learning curve can be so much better in an environment like that, where you're really getting feedback from people that are like, this isn't just in theory what I believe or what I think or what I might experiment with myself. You're getting a community of people that are saying, well, I've been doing this for the last year or 2 years, and this is what I've seen works for me and what doesn't work for me. You're getting that like tapped in knowledge to more expertise. You know, I always remember being told, don't be the smartest person in the room, right? Like in order to continue growing, you want to continue to put yourself in a space where you feel like maybe a little bit insecure, maybe a little bit out of depth, but it is a wonderful thing to be in that environment, because when you are surrounded by others who are doing what you want to be doing, you rise to their level. And I think that's exactly what happens in the mastermind community, which sets it apart from just the general conversation that's happening here. Albeit good, it's not quite the same as what happens inside of the mastermind.
Yeah, I completely agree. When I first started coaching, there was not a mastermind, but
Yeah.
I did join another, I guess you could call it a mastermind. It wasn't officially called a mastermind, but it was a group of business owners.
Mhm.
And I remember I was the lowest revenue producing person in the room, and how quickly I hit my goals and then some from being in the room with other people who were like, I was seeing what they were achieving and thinking, I'm no different than the rest of them. Like if they can do it, I can do it too. And how quickly I scaled and grew my own coaching load from being in that environment. So it's absolutely a huge piece of the puzzle for sure. And I completely agree with that. I love our FCU community, but a lot of times the answers I see to questions are things that people are hearing from downloading somebody else's free opt-in or things they haven't necessarily tried themselves. And sometimes I want to chime in and be like, "Ooh, I don't know if I would go that route necessarily." It's more theoretical for sure than it is like practical people who have tried things and built a business. So I do think that the mastermind has that added value of experience with people being farther ahead, which is great. It's great to be in that room.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else that you would say is important for people who are considering the mastermind?
Sure. And shout out to Minnie and Susan who joined us live. Hello there. We're so happy to have you on here. Definitely post any questions you have if you're thinking of them. And so, yeah, other things I would say, like if you want support and accountability, that is definitely a big piece of the mastermind. If you have been feeling like you've been doing it alone for a long time and you want to be in a group with people who are working toward a shared common goal, even though all the mastermind members might have their own unique goals, we all have this goal of wanting to help our clients improve their relationship with money. And that's something I was missing from that other group I was part of. I was the only financial coach in the room. It's a unique niche. It's a unique industry. And so being with other people who get it, who understand what it's like to offer to help somebody with their money by charging them money for it, right? Like that is a very unique space that we're in as coaches. And so I think that's a huge benefit for who should be in the mastermind. And if you are a lot of times questioning what you should be working on, if you're not sure where the next step is for you, if you're asking those questions, that's a huge part of what we help you with in the mastermind is dialing in on what's the specific area of your business today that needs attention, rather than allowing yourself to get distracted by downloading this opt-in or signing up for this course over here. We're going to help you get laser focused on what's the right next action for you. And that's going to help you take really, really clear, inspired action to grow your business.
Yeah, I think that's such a good point because I hear that a lot from coaches where they say like, I just have all of these ideas and there's all of these things that I'm working on. And there's so many things that are like 20% done or 40% done, but I'm like not seeing it through to completion, or I'm not really sure like which one of these things is actually the most important to focus on. And I mean, the mastermind is so great for that. Jaclyn is wonderful at like running the meetings where you're setting your goals and your targets and like helping with the accountability along the way to say, well, what is your action plan for this week? And how does that actually move you forward towards the goal that you have? And having that external accountability and that support from the team, and just even putting it out there publicly that like, this is what I am working on. It really does help you to stay much more focused and clear and taking that concerted effort and action towards the thing that's going to move the needle the most. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite things, Jaclyn? I'm curious, like you are inside of the mastermind community all the time. You offer a huge amount of support to the members inside of the mastermind. And I'm curious, when you think about it, like what are some of the things that you have just really been loving seeing, like some of your favorite things about the mastermind or the coaches inside of it? What are they doing?
Yeah. I mean, we've had coaches with some really big wins lately, really big ahas, you could say. So we have some coaches who recently they've built up their client load so much that they have a wait list now. It's like the first time, or for some of them, the second time they've achieved a wait list that's months long. So think about that. They've got like predictable recurring revenue. They've got people who are literally waiting to pay them, waiting to start working with them. Just think of like what that would do in your business if you knew like for the next 3 months, I've got clients who are just waiting to be onboarded, waiting to work with me, what you could create in your business to eventually create scale and leverage for some of those clients too. So it's really cool to see people get to the point where they're considered like full with their client load. We have some coaches who are at the point where their business has grown so much that they've wanted to take some time away from their business, whether that's an intentional sabbatical to actually work on their business, or there's 2 coaches I can think of right now who either just took or are still actively taking a maternity leave because they've been able to grow their business to the point where now they have an additional coach or a way to put their clients on pause and still make sure that those clients are being served and being taken care of. And at the same time, the coach can step away, spend time with that new member of their family and this like precious little window of time that they get. That's like so cool to see, especially as a newish mom. Like I remember what that time was like with my son, how grateful I was that I could take some time away to just spend with him. And so that's a really cool thing. We have a couple of coaches who recently have left their full-time or part-time jobs. So either they've left full-time and gone down to part-time at work, or they've left their job altogether, whether it was a full-time or part-time job, to work on their business full time. And when I put full time in quotes, it's because for a lot of people, they don't want to work 40 hours a week. They want to work 30 hours a week or 20 hours a week, but they've built their coaching business up to the point where now they no longer need that income from that job to sustain them. And they are, when they're working, they are coaching. They are working on building their coaching business.
I would
so
say
many wins like that.
Like adding on to that one, I think that is like another really common question. I mean, we get emails into the inbox about it. We see people post about it in FCU, but people are like, can you really like make a real income as a financial coach? How much can a financial coach actually earn? Can this really be a full-time thing, or is it like just a side hustle always? And I think that like the mastermind is proof that it is a full-time business, that it can support you in a full-time way. It can bring in enough income. There are coaches doing it all the time, which again is why it is really important to put yourself in an environment like that. If that is something that you want for yourself, right? Like you may not want that. There's a lot of coaches that just say, I want to do this part-time, or I want it to be my hobby side hustle. Like I have no intention of working a full-time business or growing it. But many of you are probably thinking like, I would love that someday, but is it even possible? Like, I don't know that I see how that's possible. And I think it's really important that if that is the thing you desire, it is critical to surround yourself with others who are proving it every day, who are doing it, that you're seeing them working it full time. They've got full client loads. They are managing this. It is not their side hustle anymore. It's their full-time business. You're watching them take sabbaticals. You're watching them go on vacation. You're watching them grow a wait list. Like all of that is proof of what is possible for you as well. And you'll see it every single day in the mastermind. I mean, a lot of the coaches in there are full-time coaches at this point, or are in the transition to becoming full-time coaches. And it is just invaluable, I think, to surround yourself with that energy and with the insights and wisdom and knowledge, and seeing their growth curve also and the challenges they encounter. It makes it real. And so for coaches that want it to become a full-time thing, it is a really good space to be in order to accomplish that. We see a lot of coaches do it every year.
Yeah. Such a good point. I think another thing I've seen recently is coaches hitting their highest revenue months yet. That's been a really cool thing to celebrate with some of our coaches. We've seen some coaches who I can think of one who just posted last week that he is almost full with his clients. So full for him is 20 clients. This looks different for every coach, how many clients they want to serve, how much they're charging, how much they actually need to bring home, all of that, right? For him, it's 20 and he's at 16, and he was saying, I think I'll be at 18 by the end of next month. So really close to full time. So it's really cool to celebrate those coaches who are building their client loads still. We have coaches who have created new revenue streams, new offers as the result of being in the mastermind, other ways to serve people and help them improve their relationship with money. And so that's a really cool thing that we've seen. It's fun for us as the leaders of the mastermind to get to coach them around some of these other ideas too. And then so many other wins that I feel like I've listed so many right there. It's hard because there's so many wins happening in the mastermind. It's really cool to see and really cool to celebrate with them.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I love seeing all of the posts and updates and support. And I mean, that, I think some of our favorite things about the mastermind is just the amazing community, that there is so much support, and there is just a wonderful degree of like group think that can happen when everyone, like you said, they all have the same background. They're all financial coaches. focused on the same industry, understanding sort of some of the nuances behind it, the challenges, the goals that we're trying to achieve with our clients, and having everyone there that's like actively committed, right? They're all clearly committed to their business because they are part of the mastermind. They would not be there if they weren't taking their business seriously. And so just being a part of a group that is all every single month taking action, committed to showing up, committed to following through, committed to supporting one another, to helping each other through the places where they're stuck. It is just a really wonderful aspect, in addition to all the things that we provide, through the leadership and training and like all of that. It's like the community adds so much more to that as well.
I agree. The community is one of my absolute favorite parts of the mastermind. The coaches that are in there are so growth focused. They're action takers. They show up with good questions. They're asking the right questions. And it's my honor, honestly, to be part of the mastermind and to get to be in a room with coaches that have that mindset. So
for sure. Yeah. I think one of the other things that I really love about the mastermind is watching the growth that happens in each of the coaches, like their confidence. You can just see, palpably almost see it growing, over the course of several months. It's like we've had many of the coaches there since the inception of the mastermind now, and looking at where they are now and who they were when they first started is like night and day different. It's just incredible to see the confidence, the skill level that they're demonstrating, the quality of the questions that they ask now, the sort of like boldness or bravery that they exhibit when they are marketing themselves or talking about the boundaries that they have or the expectations that they're setting for their clients, and just all of that. They do so with so much more confidence now, and it's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I agree for sure. I think another thing I love is honestly their relationships with each other too. I love the support that we offer them. I also love seeing them support each other, even in between the coaching calls that we do all throughout the month and all the different events and stuff that are going on in the mastermind. I see them meeting together to brainstorm or to hold each other accountable or to give each other feedback on a piece of their marketing, or to have like a co-working session and just be available to kind of like chat with each other, like having coworkers, right? When you are an entrepreneur, when it's just you and your business, it can get lonely sometimes when you're working all day, and like having that discipline to sit down and work from 9 to 5 or whatever you want your schedule to look like. Sometimes it's a big transition when you're the boss and you're the one holding yourself accountable. I've seen them get together and do little like book clubs or programs together where they're working on the same coaching concept, work through sections of the academy together. And so, or even the toolkit, especially now that we're releasing some of the new modules, we'll have people chatting about, oh, I'm going to make sure I'm diving into module 3, growth area 3. And I want to like tackle this one. That'll be like, oh, I didn't even see that lesson was in there. And they'll be chatting about it. So I love watching that piece of it too, and know that we're building this community that's also supporting each other.
Yes. Yeah. So, okay, guys, if we have not shared enough about how amazing the mastermind is, it is amazing. It really is. We are happy to be answering your questions about it. We're trying to sort of be present to the things that we're seeing as far as emails coming in and conversations that we're hearing. So we're trying to provide that update. If you guys have more questions, it looks like Jaclyn is seeing that we do have one actually. So what is that question, Jaclyn? Let's make sure we tackle it.
Yeah. So Susan asked, how much direct involvement with you gals is there in the mastermind group? And so, I mean, I will tell you, Susan, there is a ton of direct involvement from us. We have calls going all month long, multiple calls a month, to give you support. And then, like I said, whenever somebody posts a question, one of the members of the FCA team, typically Kelsa or me, is going to be one of the first ones to get to it. But one of the members of the FCA team is going to answer your questions. So there is a lot of involvement with us specifically. A lot of times, if typing an answer to your question in between the coaching calls isn't the best way to communicate the answer, Kelsey or I will just hop on a quick live video right in the group and kind of give you some questions to think through so you can ask, and then we can continue the dialogue back and forth. So there is tons of involvement all month long. We also run targeted little mini challenges to work on a specific area of your business. There were a lot of coaches in the mastermind a couple of months ago who wanted to be getting out and giving a presentation, for instance, to potential referral partners or to potential clients. And so we created a mini challenge just this summer. We called it our signature presentation challenge. And it literally just wrapped up a couple of days ago. Our coaches did amazing through that challenge. And so we are constantly looking for what do our mastermind members need, and then providing that in the form of targeted action for you and your business. So hopefully that answers your question, Susan. But if you have any follow-up questions, feel free to post those too.
Yes. And anyone else that is listening, if you're catching this on the replay, we'll continue to sort of circle back and check in here. So if you have more questions, please just drop them in the comments. The mastermind is open, like we said, right now through
The 27th.
The 27th.
Yeah, Sunday night. Yep.
So Sunday night, you guys, is the end of open enrollment for this year's mastermind. It is a 6-month commitment. $297 a month is your commitment. If you do the pay in full option, you get 1 month free. So just know that there is certainly a little perk if you decide to do pay in full. With that, you're going to be able to attend the CEO retreat, our Think Like a CEO retreat, which is a 2-day virtual event that is happening in November. And normally that is $997 for that event to attend 2 days of coaching with Kelsey. It is the one and only event that she herself leads for 2 entire days, coaching you around how to really think about your business. It is a process that we use in our business on a regular basis to continue to, give it direction and put our vision into action. And so you're going to learn that process during the virtual CEO retreat. And that is included in your mastermind enrollment. So you get that for free when you join the mastermind, which is a huge added perk. So definitely worth being a part of it.
Yeah. The other benefit is the Client Creator Challenge, which comes up January through April. And that's another huge benefit of being part of the mastermind. You get to participate in the Client Creator Challenge. So
yes.
That's another a great thing. That's a 90-day challenge for anyone wondering. So it's not 90 straight days of Kelsey coaching, right? That's a 90-day challenge. It's that we help you skyrocket your revenue in those 90 days. It's incredible. And so that's another huge benefit of being part of the mastermind too.
Yes. Yeah. And that is also another $997 event. So that is something that is sold separately for $997, same as the CEO retreat, but those 2 things are included for our mastermind members. So they are bonuses for anyone that already is part of the mastermind, that you all get to join them for free. So added benefits for sure, just tons of support inside of the community. And we hope to see some of you there. We're super excited to be welcoming our new members to the mastermind. The current and existing members are always really excited to see who is going to become their new business bestie and who's going to be joining, and they're going to get to support and create relationships with. And so it's always a lot of fun when enrollment is open and we get to welcome a whole new group of coaches to the community. So we hope to see you there.
Yeah, it's going to be great. All right. Well, I think we've covered everything. And thanks so much, everyone, for joining us for this Facebook Live. We will catch you back in a couple of days.
All right. Bye, guys.
Take care.